click the bell icon to turn on notifications.
Before we get into some of the more complex examples of extracting text using text functions, let's just remind ourselves of the basics. And in this first example, we're going to be using the left, mid, and right text functions to extract different parts of this part code. So in column B, I have some sample part codes, and I want to break this up into the code, which is the first 3 characters, the first ID, which is the middle 3 characters, and then the ID2, which is the final 3 characters. And we can do this very simply using text functions. So if we click in cell C4, what I'm aiming for here is I just want the code, so the first 3 characters. So if I type equals, I can use the left function in order to do this. Now the reason why I'm using left is because it's going to start counting from the left-hand side of the cell. And because I want the leftmost characters, that's why this function is most appropriate. Now I only have 2 arguments here, and one of them is optional as it's in square brackets. Now my first argument needs to be the text, so which cell contains the text that I want to extract. So that is cell B4. Now I don't need to lock this because I'm going to copy the formula down. Comma, how many characters do I want to extract? Now in this example, this is very easy. I can type in number 3 because all of my part numbers are very consistent in their format. So in each case here, it's going to be the first 3 characters that I want to extract. So let's close the bracket, hit enter, and there we go. So I can now just drag this down and I have the first part extracted. So now let's do the middle part. And for this, we're going to use another text function called mid, which is going to return the characters from the middle of a text string. Now, when it comes to mid, we have a couple more arguments that we need to add in here. So the first thing we need to do is specify the text. So again, where is the text located, which is cell B4. We then need to tell Excel what the start number is. Now again, because my example here is very consistent, I can simply count across to the first character that I want to extract. And I can see here that the number 1 is in position number 5, comma, how many characters from the start position do I want to extract? Well, I want to extract 3. Close my bracket, hit enter, and I now have the middle part of the code. And as you can imagine, we can do something similar for the final 3 characters. Now this time we're going to use the right function because they're on the rightmost side of the cell. I need to select the cell where the text is located, the number of characters, which is going to be 3, close my bracket, hit enter, and then I can simply copy that down. So when you have consistency, left, mid, and right are super simple functions for you to use to extract parts of the text. But as we know, most of the time in life, we don't have consistency. We need to be able to manipulate our text functions to deal with all manner of different situations. So let's move on to a more complex example. So here I have a list of names and email addresses attributed to those names. Now what I essentially want to do is I want to extract the username, which is basically everything before this @ symbol, and I'm also going to show you how to extract the full domain. So for this first one, that would be gmail.com, but also how to extract a partial domain. So maybe I just want Gmail, Live, Yahoo without the .com on the end. So this is going to involve a more complex extraction. And for this type of thing, we need to do quite a bit of prep work in order to get this to work. So let's start out with the easiest one first, which is extracting that username. Now, if I was just to try and use the left function to do this, if I open up my brackets, if I was to select cell B3, comma, the problem occurs when I have to specify the number of characters, because each of the usernames is a different length. So whilst I might be able to say, okay, I want the first 7 characters for this one, when I copy that down, that's not going to work. So unless I want to individually and manually type a new formula for each one of these email addresses, that's not going to be particularly efficient. So we need to think of another way that we can do this. Now, one thing you can do in this scenario is if we look through the email addresses, we can look for something that's common between all of them. And I can see here that every single email address has an @ symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Excel to find the position of the @ symbol in each email address, and then we're going to extract basically everything before the @ symbol. And I've got a little preparation table in the middle here. Don't worry too much about these headings, that's really just to remind me which one I'm doing at any given moment. But first of all, we're going to find the @ symbol in each of the email addresses. And for that, we can use another text function, search. Now, there is also a find function, and I don't mind which you use here. They basically do very similar things. But I'm going to use search for this first example. Open the bracket. Let's see what our arguments are. Now, the first argument is asking us to specify what exactly we're looking for in the text string. So I'm looking for the @ symbol, and that needs to go in quote marks, comma. Where am I looking for that @ symbol? Well, I'm looking for it in cell B3. Now, my final argument here, which is in square brackets, so it is optional, is the start number. Now, I don't really know the start number, so I just want to find the position of that @ symbol. So let's close the bracket and hit enter. So it's telling me that the first @ symbol is in position 8, and I can copy that down to get the position of the @ symbol in the rest of the email addresses. Now, one thing to note here, again, if we look at this first one, position number 8 is the actual @ symbol. So any formula I use where I reference this cell just here with the number 8 in it, it's basically going to include the @ symbol in my result, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go up to the formula bar and we're going to say -1. Hit enter. Let's copy that down. So now the 7th character is basically the last letter of the username, which is exactly what I want. So now I have this information, I'm going to click in my username and we're going to construct our formula to grab that username from the email address. So we're going to say equals, we're going to do left, open our bracket. Where's the text located? Well, it's in cell B3. How many characters do I want? I want to extract the number of characters located in cell D3. Close the bracket, hit enter, and then I can just copy that down, and we've extracted all of those usernames. Now, if once you've done this, you think to yourself, right, I don't want this preparation column there, I want to delete it, you have to be a little bit careful here, because if I was to delete this out, I'm going to get reference errors because my formula is referring to the information that I've basically just deleted. So what you can do here is if we take a look at our formula where we have left B3, D3, what I could do is replace the cell reference here with the formula in D3. So if I click on D3, I'm going to copy the formula, Control C. Let's go back and edit our username formula. I'm just going to replace where we have a reference to D3. I'm going to do a Control V to paste that in. Hit enter, and now my text doesn't change. I need to copy that down, but I could safely delete this column and my usernames are still going to be okay. Now I'm going to undo that because I'm going to need this column a little bit later on. Now the next thing I want to do is extract the full domain. So that would be gmail.com, live.com, yahoo.com, so on and so forth. And again, for this, I need to do a little bit of preparation work. So looking at this email address, the first thing I'm going to ascertain again is where is this @ symbol located? But this time I don't need to -1, I just want to find the position of the @ symbol. So we've seen how to do that. We're going to type in equals. And last time I used search, this time I'm going to use find just to show you that they're very similar. What text am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for the @ symbol. I'm looking for it in cell B3. I'm going to close my bracket, hit enter, and it gives me the position of that @ symbol. What I'm now going to do is find the length. So how many characters do I have in the entire email address? And to find the length, we can use a very simple text function called len. It only has one argument, and that is where is your text string located? So that is cell B3. Close the bracket, hit enter, and now I know that I have 17 characters in this email address. So now that I have both of these pieces of information, I can use them to extract the full domain. So this time we're going to use the write function. We're going to select our cell, which is B3, And now we need to tell Excel what the number of characters is. And basically this calculation is going to be the length, H3, minus where the @ symbol is. Close brackets, hit enter. I can then copy down. And we've extracted all of those domains in full. And once again, if you wanted to delete this preparation table, you would need to go in and just replace these cell references in the main formula. So I'm going to go to my len formula. I'm going to copy it. Let's edit and replace H3 with the len formula. And let's also replace E3. So we're going to copy and then just select E3, Control V to paste, hit enter, and you can see I still have my full domains, but I can now delete my preparation table and it's not going to affect my result. Now the final example here is if we want to extract a partial domain. So instead of gmail.com, I just want Gmail, Live, Yahoo, Company One, so on and so forth. And for this, I need to do a little bit more preparation work. And I will add, there are a number of different ways that you can go about doing this. This is just the way that I tend to do it. So for this first one, I want to extract the word Gmail. So what I want to do is, again, I want to find the @ symbol, but I want to +1 so that we're on the G of Gmail. So we're going to use find, or you can use search if you prefer. I'm looking for the @ symbol again. I'm looking for it within B3, but this time I'm going to +1 and hit enter. And let's copy this down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find what we have on the other side of the domain name. So in this case, we have .com on the end of all of these email addresses. So I'm going to find the position of .com. So equals find, open bracket. This time I'm looking for .com and I'm looking for it within cell B3. Close the bracket, hit enter, and it's telling me that it's in position 14. Let's copy that all the way down. So now let's construct our formula, and I'm going to use mid for this because we are extracting characters from the middle of a text string. And let's scroll over very slightly. So where is my text? It's in cell B3. What's my start number going to be? Well, I want it to start on the G of Gmail, which is basically this calculation that we did here in cell F3, comma. How many characters? Well, here we're going to do a calculation. We're going to say cell G3 minus F3. Close the bracket, hit enter, and there we go. And let's copy this down to make sure that it works. And there we go. We've managed to extract a partial domain. Now, once again, you could go through replacing these cell references if you want to delete your preparation table. Alternatively, if you're not really too concerned about keeping the underlying formulas, you can simply copy up to paste special and just paste the values over the top. And in fact, I'm going to do that for all of these. Copy and paste values. And now I can safely get rid of all of these columns and I have my results. Now I'm just going to finish off this lesson by showing you a few more ways of extracting information. This time we're going to focus on dates because I find this particularly useful if I want to put together something like a pivot table where I really want to be quite granular about the information that I have in each column. So here you can see that we have some dates in column A and some Dales apparently. Sorry about that. That should be sales. Let's just change that. So what I want to do is I want to extract the year, the month, the week, and the weekday from the date column. So this is fairly straightforward. If we want to extract the year, we have a function called year. Open bracket, we just need to select the cell, close the bracket, hit enter, and there we have the year. And we can copy that down. I'm sure you can see how this is going. Month, open bracket, select the cell, and then we can copy down. What about the week? Well, if we type in week, num, open bracket, select our cell, it's going to tell us what week number, so 1 to 52. And then finally, if we want the weekday, if we say equals weekday, open the bracket and select the cell, it's going to tell us which day of the week this date falls on, and double click to copy down. So very straightforward to extract those, but let me show you a little bit of a trick. Maybe you've extracted these out, you've given this report to your manager and he said, well, actually, I don't want the month number or the weekday number. I want to see the actual weekday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe the month, January, February, March. Well, you can just add something to your formula which will convert these numbers into their respective months and weekdays. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to delete out everything we have, and instead we're going to use a text function. We're going to select our date cell, comma, and then we need to specify what format we want this text in. Now I want the month, so I'm going to put this in quote marks, MMMM, close quotes, close bracket, hit enter, and we have the actual month as opposed to the month number. Now I could do the same here for the weekday, so let's delete out what we have there. And instead of using weekday, I'm going to use text, select my cell, and if I want the weekday, again, it needs to go in quote marks, DDDD, close quotes, close bracket, hit enter, and there we have our weekday. So I just wanted to finish by showing you those text functions as well because they can be super useful. That's it for now. I will see you in the next video.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To get 4 free courses in Excel, QuickBooks, Microsoft Project, and Photoshop, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.